Milo and the Midnight Crumbs. In the quiet heart of a cozy house, nestled behind the wall of a child's bedroom, lived a small mouse named Milo. Milo was the youngest of two mouse brothers and lived with Max in a snug little mouse hole, tucked just behind a wooden baseboard. Their home was lined with soft wool, tiny curtains made of flower petals, and beds that smelled faintly of lavender and crumbs of cinnamon toast. Every night, the two mice curled up in their beds, drifting off to dream of lands made entirely of cheese, or floating on thimbles through cotton candy clouds. But tonight, something was different. Milo stirred in his bed, his tiny pink nose twitching. A scent had found its way into the mouse hole, a scent that was sweet and warm and crumbly. Milo opened his eyes and sat up. The room was dim, lit only by the silvery glow of moonlight filtering through a crack in the wall. Max snored gently from the other side of the room, bundled in his patchwork quilt. Milo crept out of bed. His paws made no sound on the soft woolen floor. He stood at the edge of the mouse hole and sniffed the air again. There it was, a trail of warm cookie crumbs. He peeked into the bedroom. The child who lived there was fast asleep, sprawled under a quilt dotted with stars. On the bedside table sat a small plate with a half-eaten cookie, and below it on the floor, a trail of crumbs leading out into the hallway like a golden path. With a soft squeak of delight, Milo slipped through the crack and padded quietly across the carpet. The world outside his mouse hole always seemed so big at night. Shadows stretched tall and furniture became quiet mountains. But Milo wasn't afraid. He was a brave little mouse with a curious heart. He followed the crumb trail through the bedroom door and into the hallway, where the crumbs sparkled under moonlight like tiny treasures. As he rounded a corner, a soft, rustling sound stopped him in his tracks. There, beside the trail, stood a small beetle with shimmering green wings. "Oh," Milo squeaked, "I didn't see you there." The beetle looked up, surprised but not alarmed. She wore a tiny shell-shaped satchel and had the gentlest eyes Milo had ever seen. "Good evening," said the beetle in a voice like the rustle of dry leaves. "I'm Bella. Are you following the cookie trail too?" Milo nodded. "I'm Milo. I woke up because I smelled it all the way from my mouse hole. It smells delicious." Bella laughed, and it was like the tinkling of wind chimes. "It does, doesn't it? I thought I'd collect a few crumbs for my breakfast. It's not every night we get cookie magic." Milo blinked. "Cookie magic?" Bella leaned closer and whispered. Milo's whiskers twitched. He liked the sound of that. "Would you like to follow them together?" he asked. Bella beamed. "I would love that." And so, paw and claw, the two small creatures followed the trail down the hall. The house was silent, except for the soft ticking of a distant clock and the whisper of the wind outside. They passed glowing nightlights and slumbering toys, their tiny footsteps muffled against the carpet. As they reached the top of the stairs, the trail of crumbs twinkled downward like a ribbon of stars. "We'll need to be very quiet," Milo whispered. Bella nodded. "Quiet as the moon." Together, they descended the stairs, careful not to step too loudly on the wooden floor. The kitchen was dark, but not scary. The moonlight streamed through the window and turned the tiles silver. The crumbs led them to the table leg, and then they disappeared. "Oh no," Milo said softly. "Where did they go?" Bella looked around, antennae twitching. Maybe that was the end of the trail. But Milo shook his head. Cookie magic doesn't just stop. There must be more. Then they heard a tiny giggle. It was very soft, so soft that if the kitchen hadn't been perfectly still, they might have missed it. It came from under the table. Milo and Bella crept forward. There, nestled beneath the table, in a cardboard shoebox, was the tiniest, fluffiest squirrel they had ever seen. She had big, sleepy eyes and a crumb-covered nose. She looked up at them and smiled. "Hi," she said shyly, "I'm Sophie. I followed the crumbs too. They led me here, but I got sleepy, so I made a nest." Her nest was made of cupcake wrappers, napkin pieces, and a single fuzzy sock. It looked surprisingly comfortable. "You made this all by yourself?" Bella asked. Sophie nodded. "I used to live in the tree outside, but it got cold, so I came in through the window and found the crumbs. I didn't mean to eat so many." Milo smiled kindly. "That's okay. Cookie magic is meant to be shared. Would you like to join us?" Bella asked. "We're following the trail to see where it leads." Sophie's eyes lit up. "I'd love to." The three of them climbed out from under the table and spotted another crumb. This one was heart-shaped and glowing just a little. It had landed near the back door. As they approached the door, they noticed something unusual. The moonlight was pooling in a circle, and in the center was a glowing crack in the floor. "It's a portal," Bella breathed. Milo stared. "Where does it go?" "Only one way to find out," Sophie whispered. Together, they stepped into the moonlight. The moment they were in a dream meadow. The grass was soft like velvet and shimmered in pastel shades. The sky was full of sleepy stars that blinked slowly, and giant dandelions swayed like sleepy dancers. A breeze carried the scent of sugar cookies and cocoa. "Where are we?" Milo asked in wonder. "The land of midnight crumbs," Bella said, her voice hushed. "It only appears to those who follow the trail with kindness." In the meadow, creatures of all kinds lay nestled in hammocks made of spider silk and rose petals. A badger read a bedtime story to a group of ladybugs. A fox snored gently under a toadstool. Fireflies floated by like drifting lanterns. Sophie twirled. "It's so peaceful here. It's like the world as it should be," Bella said, "where everyone is welcome." The three friends walked slowly through the meadow, marveling at everything. They shared stories, laughter, and a tiny moonberry tart offered by a yawning raccoon. Eventually, they found a nest of feathers shaped like a teacup, just the right size for three. "Shall we rest here?" Milo asked. "Yes," whispered Sophie. They snuggled together under a blanket made of starlight threads. Milo looked at Bella and Sophie and felt a warm glow in his chest. "I'm glad I followed the crumbs," he said sleepily. Bella smiled. "So am I." "Me too," murmured Sophie. "Best snack ever." They giggled softly, then yawned. Around them, the land of midnight crumbs glowed like a dream wrapped in velvet. As their eyes closed, the stars seemed to hum a lullaby. The world slowed to a hush. Kindness, laughter, and soft dreams swirled gently around them like a gentle breeze. And just like that, they fell asleep. But for now, it is time to sleep. So I'll let you drift off to dream of the world as you would like it to be.